In honor of Black History Month, today I'd like to feature an African-American artist whose painting, In the Beginning, is part of our permanent collection and on display here in our From the Vault exhibition. Like the young man featured in this painting, Ernie Barnes was also an athlete, but instead of playing basketball, he was a football player. He played football in college on scholarship and then played professionally for 6 years before an injury ended his career. Although he was successful at football, he always had mixed feelings about it. He was grateful for the opportunities that it awarded him, not only for the scholarship and his career, but also the opportunities that it gave him to study the human body and how it moved. Not only how his teammates and other players moved, but how he felt as he moved. However, he always felt uncomfortable with how violent the sport was. Ultimately, he said, "I hate to think, had I not played sports, what my art would look like." Perhaps to the chagrin of his coaches, he took advantage of timeouts, team meetings, and other breaks to draw. After his career as a professional football player, he became the official league artist. Here, this young man has just shot the basketball and the ball still lingers in the air just before we find out if it goes in or not. Barnes was known for his elongated figures and what we call this neo-mannerist style. But here, this elongation is particularly appropriate. This young, lanky boy's height will be advantageous to him in the future as a basketball player. He may just need a little bit of time to grow into it. Here, his arms are in the air as he's just taken this shot. His wrists are snapped down from the follow-through, and he waits to see if the ball will go in before his arms will come down. We too hope that the ball will go in. Now, of course, the young man playing basketball is the focus of the painting, but I also love the way that the sky in the background that fills 2/3 of the painting really highlights this scene. To me, it speaks of the potential that this young man has, not only playing basketball, but in any other avenue which he chooses to pursue. Of course, his future will not be without roadblocks in his path, but we can tell from his determination here that he will not allow barriers to get in the way of his goals. If all he has is an uneven dirt and grass field to play basketball on, that's what he will use. If he doesn't have neighbors nearby to play basketball with him, he'll practice his shot on his own. Here we can see this perhaps homemade basketball hoop that he plays on or plays with, but it's been made with precision and care. The boards are carefully cut out and the hoop carefully placed in the middle of the backboard. I love his determination. It will take him far. Even the title, In the Beginning, speaks of the vast possibilities ahead for this young man. Barnes' life experiences informed and inspired not only his painting, but his frames as well. Frames are often overlooked or unnoticed, and of course their purpose is not to detract from the work of art, but to enhance or promote the work. When Ernie Barnes was preparing for his first gallery show in a gallery in New York, he received a phone call from his mother, informing him that his father had just had a stroke. He picked up and drove across the country from California to North Carolina to go see his father in the hospital. When he wasn't at the hospital with his father, he was preparing his paintings for this gallery show. He noticed the fence at his parents' house that had typically been well maintained was beginning to fall apart. It had been neglected as his father had no longer been able to take care of it. He explained what happened next, saying, "I placed a painting against the fence and stood away and had a look. I was startled at the marriage between the old wood fence and the painting. It was perfect. In tribute, Daddy's fence would hug all my paintings in a prestigious New York gallery. That would have made him smile." Ernie Barnes' father passed away before Ernie had the opportunity to tell him about how he planned to repurpose this fence. In the Beginning was painted a few years after this experience, but Barnes still used this distressed wood idea in his later works. I am so inspired by both the figure in this painting and by Barnes. I love their determination. I love the way that each of them take advantage of the resources that they have and take advantage of the opportunities that they have. I love the enthusiasm that each of them have in pursuing and working on their hobbies and their talents. I hope that you'll come to the Museum of Art soon to see In the Beginning and the From the Vault exhibition.